More music. Better mental health. Only on IPL Radio.
And you're listening to Mish on Good Vibrations this afternoon. And it's Friday, thank goodness. It's countdown. You've probably had your lunch or having your lunch by now and countdown to the weekend. Hopefully you've got a good weekend lined up. I have a lovely guest in the building at the moment. Oh, hang on. We're supposed to clap before we start because it indicates that the video's starting or something. I'm not quite sure how that works. But anyway, it's like the clapper board. You know the clapper board with the... Yeah, so we're on video as well. So hi, everybody. You'll see it all later. Jane Roberts from Living Spirit is here with us, and I've got Annie in the studio with us.
Hello.
We're going to talk about different things that you and your... Is it a group?
Yes.
Would you call it a group?
Yes.
Okay. So your group, Living Spirit,
Yes.
help with. So I'll leave it to you to explain what you do.
Okay, where to begin?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a long story, but basically the work that I do is to bring evidence and proof that it's only the body that dies and the spirit continues on, that we are eternal.
Okay.
But leading off from that is so much more because our spiritual self often is in a place of needing healing, and especially when we lose a loved one. And these days that's something that people don't really talk about.
No.
You mentioned, I want this doing when I die. Oh, don't talk about that now. When really it should be spoken about.
I agree.
And everybody knows where they are.
Exactly.
And what's happening.
Exactly.
And quite often there are very sad circumstances of passing when somebody contributes to taking their own life, or
That's right.
an accident, sudden death.
Yep.
In that case, it's a matter of us healing here on earth, but also the spirit healing in the spirit world.
Okay.
Because quite often there's unfinished business.
So the two separate things, our body and our spirit, are two separate things.
Our body, if you look at it like you've got a motor vehicle and you've got an engine in it.
Yep.
We are a bit like that. We house the spirit.
Okay.
So when we are born, we have that spirit within us.
Okay.
That is us.
Yep.
It's our essence. And as we go through life, sometimes you become aware of that spirituality, or that there's something else. I think with me it began by being forced to go to a funeral as a little girl, and seeing the dirt shoveled on the coffin and being horrified by it. And I came to think, well, if we are this miraculous being that we are, and we go through this life, surely it's not for nothing.
And surely it's more than that dirt on top of the coffin.
That dirt on the coffin. And the opportunity was presented to me about 22, 23 years ago for me to investigate further.
Okay.
To go and see a medium who became my tutor then. And it was like, this is real.
So it's not like, when I think of mediums, I think of the sixth sense. Like, you don't have have you had that growing up though, do you think? Or is it something you've learned?
I believe that I have, because the decisions that I made growing up, I left home very early. And the decisions I made growing up, there were wrong ones and there were right ones. But I feel as though I wasn't alone. In those decisions.
Okay.
And our sixth sense, of course, is to do with our spirit, because it's our intuition. And if we listen to our spirit, the intuition is
So a lot of people would call it the gut feeling.
The gut
Same
feeling,
thing, right?
Yes,
okay.
Definitely.
Interesting. So you've gone into training to be a medium.
Absolutely.
Now, someone was talking to me earlier. Oh, no, it wasn't you. Someone was talking to me earlier. There's different types of mediumship.
Yes.
Can you explain that?
Many sorts of mediumship. First of all, in my training in particular, it was about healing. Because if you have the empathy and the compassion and the willingness to help another person, it's more or less automatically there.
Yep.
It's just learning how to use it.
Okay.
And when we open ourselves to the spirit world, we invite them to come and work through us. So we always say from spirit, through spirit, to spirit.
Okay.
So that's where I began. Then it's about learning to open up your psychic awareness. So our psychic awareness is when we learn about the aura, the layers of the aura, and the colours in the aura. There we have a replica of our own body, which holds every memory and every experience through our life. At level 7, we have our level of spirituality, so that when we work as mental mediums, the spirit world will open to us and come and blend with our energy and touch that level. And the 13th level is the level of spirituality itself.
Wow.
So that's the psychic. Once we've gone through the psychic and working with that, we also have to then learn to trust that there is sight unseen. So there are feelings, there are senses, our smell, our hearing, our sight. And that takes a lot to trust that you're working with an unknown and to believe it.
To believe it, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you have anything you want to talk about, Annie?
I'm just listening.
Yeah, it's fascinating. You could go on for hours.
Yes, I could talk to you for weeks.
You could, you could.
World.
So, what's your passion about mediumship? What's your expertise?
Okay, so I'm a mental medium. There are what we call physical mediums, which is a whole nother story, perhaps for another time.
Yeah.
As a mental medium, I am able to open my mind to the spirit world so that they can come and impress me. And I don't work in one particular way. Each time is an experiment. So I may hear things, feel things. Mostly I sense things, so I feel an awful lot. So my passion is the whole package, because in that I took my certificate of hypnotherapy and grief counselling, and I'm also a funeral celebrant.
Excellent.
So it all encompasses each other. As a mental medium, it's very important to me to be able to help the person that comes to see me, because they've gone through a loss of a loved one. And there are many loved ones that come through. It's not just that one person
they're expecting.
And I always impress upon people that there is nothing bad that comes from the spirit world. Everything that is bad was created by man. The spirit world, no matter what we have been and who we have been and how nice or how terrible, we all go to that same place. But it's from there we progress as a spirit. We may need to be in that place of healing for a very long time before we can answer to ourselves and the things that we have done, because that's what we have to do.
Interesting. So for example, if I came to have a reading with you, do you call them readings? Yeah, they call them readings. If I came to have a reading with you and I've given you no information about my past whatsoever, you're going to feel, see things that you're not going to be understanding what they are, but I might understand what they are. And I think on your posts or on your Facebook, you've said that you would prefer people to record it because it's something that you might pick up later on down the track. It might not be something that you've immediately expected or heard, but it might come clearer later on. Where does the hypnotherapy come in?
The hypnotherapy...
that one.
The hypnotherapy...
There you go. Hey, what are you drinking in that bottle? She says it's water.
Put gin in there.
Say it again.
Hypnotherapy.
There you go.
That I started off by doing the usual. I want to stop smoking.
I
want
right.
to lose weight. I want the usual things. But as I worked more with it, it became more of a healing tool. What I'm able to do is use the hypnotherapy to, which is nothing like platform hypnotherapy. It's simply taking you down into a relaxed place where you can just move out of your mind, feel safe and comfortable, and integrate that with the spiritual healing, but also with the basic of hypnotherapy by working with the subconscious to bring in the healing modality and the positive reinforcements for
Okay.
whatever is needed.
Okay.
So I often get people who are struggling with the passing of their loved ones and feel guilty and feel all these things. And I will suggest to them, would you like to do the hypnotherapy healing? Maybe 1 session, maybe 4 sessions. It's not about the money in that case.
No.
It's about helping someone to cope with the loss of a loved one and understand that they're still there.
Okay. Without giving too much information away, I want to go down another track for a second. So you're talking about people that have passed over,
Yes.
right? What about grieving for something that's still here but have been lost?
That also it works very well with the healing sessions.
So that can
with
work
the
as well, because you're not
hypnotherapy.
going to get the spiritual side because they're not spirits yet.
You will get the spiritual side quite often because your family is still there.
Okay.
And even if you haven't, like people say, I didn't meet my grandmother,
Yeah.
I didn't meet my
Yeah.
grandfather, they still know you because the connection is family and the
Okay.
connection is love, and
Okay.
love never dies.
So they're watching what's going on.
They are aware. They're not watching you every minute.
That's good.
They don't see you as human
No,
form. So
but they're
see
seeing
you
our
and
spirit.
hear you. They feel your vibration if you're sad
Yeah,
or happy.
yeah.
And they see your light. So
Perfect.
If you're a dull light, then they know that something is bothering you.
Yeah.
You're unwell or
Yeah.
unhappy.
Yeah.
So they're aware sometimes of things are going on with relationships
Yeah.
with children or
Yeah.
illness.
Yeah.
But they will never make a decision for us.
No.
They will never say, oh, that's what's wrong with you, this illness, or predict things for us.
No.
It's very, the way I work, I was taught in a very strict way that it's not a party trick. And
Because as soon as you talk about hypnotherapy, you see the media portrays it as being people clucking like chickens and that sort of
Yes.
stuff. So it's immediately, to me, it's laughed at. Like, there's no
Yes.
way that's possible.
Yes.
Because all we have seen on media is those silly things where people are
That's
dancing
right.
and being silly on the stage. So I need to have the understanding that hypnotherapy is nothing like that.
nothing like that at all.
You're not going to make me cluck like a chicken and dance on, don't like, I can be. You can make me.
try.
You can make me look like an 18-year-old with, but that's not going to happen. But so a lot of people need to know that hypnotherapy isn't what we see and see on TV and see on stupid shows that come on TV. It's not that. It's the spiritual side of things that. It's the healing is what I'm looking for, from past and current.
Yes.
I need that at the moment. You were talking about auras before. Do you see auras all the time, or is there no?
No.
Are auras like the colour of
Yes.
someone?
Yes.
Because that's what I feel like that's what I can
Oh, that's
see
brilliant.
as well.
Yes.
So if it's more of like you don't like see a colour, you kind of just feel it. Like you kind of watch someone
That's exactly right.
and you see
Annie.
their personality and how they talk,
Yes.
how they listen, how they act, and then you can kind of just sense a colour that belongs to them.
Absolutely
Is that what
correct.
that? Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
We work when we're working with that, which we did. We just had a retreat at Margaret River, our group, and we worked with the aura and with colour. So a lot of people don't see that. I only see the aura as like a white mist. I don't see colour, and let my mind knows to put colour.
Yeah.
So I would put blue in your throat area. I would put green on your left-hand side as growth with you, and the blue is being able to speak and talk to other people. There's also a beautiful pink and purple that I would put around you because you're just a beautiful soul. and I
Soft,
feel
yes.
that.
So yeah.
I don't know you. I've never met you.
Yeah.
But I feel your spirit.
Wow. That's so cool. And then because you said that said that she really wanted to sit in with us today because I told her you were coming in, and she said that she was interested because you had something that was happening to you, and so it is your aura, the aura that you feel.
Yeah, it's like.
Have you always had that?
I think I have. My mum, my family.
Your family, it comes down from your grandmother.
Wow.
Are very, very spiritual, and my auntie does healings and readings. My mum's very she's not like professionally, but she does like, you know, she always has like that sixth sense or whatever. And I feel like I've always been taught in a spiritual way as well. So, and I've only just recently in the like past year kind of just like started to connect more with it. I feel like as I'm growing up and maturing more, I feel like I'm starting to connect with it more, which is really good because like I love doing it, and like sometimes even only like a couple of my friends would like believe that kind of stuff, and they love it as well because like, you know, they're like, oh my goodness, like that's so crazy, and it's just Do
you want to learn more and how to?
I would love to.
You and your
more.
friends must come and visit us one Monday night for a session. We have a group every Monday night. It'd be lovely if you could come along.
Yeah.
Whereabouts is that? We're just in Oldbury, which is not even 20 minutes from here. It's just off of Mundijong Road, near Golden Pond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's just down the road from me.
Because we have been told by the spirit world that we need to work more with the younger people.
Yeah.
Because these are the people that are coming into it, and it's important to nourish their spirit, and even if it's just, I wonder.
Yeah.
Has your mum continued with it? Like, has she had any teaching?
She's done, because her sister, my auntie, is you know, has done that like her whole life.
Okay.
So my mum's learnt from her, and then I've kind of learnt from my mum. And so my mum has like the same thing. She has like the sixth sense. So she's more of like she doesn't see things, she can kind of just like feel things, feel people's emotions. She knows when like people are hurting and that kind of thing. So it's hard to get away with things. She knows.
Oh wow. That's interesting.
Yeah,
that's the thing with people that can sense and feel things. You need to be good.
Yeah. Have you got brothers and sisters?
I have a brother.
Has he got the same feelings or not talked about?
He's not really. Him and my dad aren't really like on that spiritual
level
side.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's interesting. Well, maybe you should look into it further.
Yeah, I definitely will.
Because if you can help people, you know, that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Because the spirit world with us use the word service. And it is to be in service to the spirit world, because I feel very honoured in the work that I do, that I'm a voice for the unseen, for those who have gone and need to contact their families again for whatever reason.
Do they get answers?
Absolutely. I could tell you many, many stories. There is one in particular where we did a group party. We sometimes do group parties at people's homes if they're a bit wary about what it's all about and they feel better at
in
home.
a group,
And it was about 2008, 2009. We were doing a group party at a home, and this young man came through to me, and all he said very clearly was, I'm 16, I hanged myself, and my mum needs to know because she'll understand. And the house that we were at that time, nobody there could relate to it, but the lady who organised the party said, I've heard of that in my son's football club.
Yeah.
And I said, well, he's very desperate that his mum knows. And she said, how can I just go up to someone and say, I've heard from your dead son? Anyway, it so happened that she also had another party booked 3 weeks later. She had different people there. And so he came through again and said, nobody's told my mum.
Oh, wow.
She will understand. So we spoke to this lady and said, look, you know, he's desperate to get this message through. Please try and overcome that
Yeah.
in some way. And he came back and he said there will be an opportunity very soon for this to happen. So on the this was a Friday night. On the Sunday morning, they were at the football. A friend that knew both of these people was talking to the lady who had the party, and she mentioned to him, and he went, "Oh, she would want to know that," and he went and told her.
Oh, wow.
And that evening on the way I was going to a spiritual service, and that evening this beautiful lady phoned up and said, I'm his mum, and I can't tell you how that's already changed my life.
Wow.
Can we come and see you as a family? And I worked with them closely as a family. And then around 2011, we kept in touch. 2011, my longtime partner and I decided we'd get married. We did that, and he's Irish, so we decided to go to Ireland. And this lovely lady said, "Oh, my mum and dad live in Dublin. You've got to go and stay with them."
Oh, wow.
And the next minute, there we are in Dublin with this beautiful family we'd never ever met.
Yeah.
All because of the 16 in the spirit world.
Isn't that amazing?
That's just one story.
That's one story, yeah.
Synchronicity is amazing. There's no coincidences. I think.
That is amazing. That is amazing. Gosh. I think you definitely, Annie, should look into it a little bit further.
I definitely. Do you have any, tips for how to, kind of tune in more with it?
We always do a meditation. So meditation is important. Yeah. But we've moved recently from meditating with being guided into it and with music, because there is so much that you find in the silence. So years ago, we used to do quite a lot of meditation, and I did get quite a few things come to me. But I feel that sitting quietly and just clearing your mind of all the clutter helps an awful lot, because it gives room for the spirit to move in and perhaps impress you with things. It's like when you've got a problem and you go, "Oh, shall I do that? Shan't I do that? What shall I do?" And you ponder it for days and it becomes a major thing. If you can just let that rest for a little while and just, okay, I'll leave that for a couple of days and see what happens. In a couple of days, you will get your answer. You know whether you should or not, because you've left room for yourself to be influenced in that sixth sense.
There you go. Wow. Has it helped you in your life?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Are you able to hear things related to yourself?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I suppose that the way it's changed, it has changed my whole outlook on life, on death, on the way I feel about people and things. A lot of people are very judgmental.
Very much.
And that can be very hurtful.
Yep.
And we have to, as mediums even, protect ourselves. Not that I do the light of protection around me. I know I don't need that because I've got all my family there.
Yep.
But protect the work that we do because it's sacred.
Yes.
And it's not like, I've had people say, "Oh, this lady ran up to me in the shopping centre and said, 'Oh, have you lost a son or have you lost a......'" No.
Doesn't, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
When I make an appointment with someone for a reading, all I have is their first name and their phone number to contact them. So I know nothing about them.
Yeah.
And I'm making that appointment with their family in the spirit world, their friends, family, and with them. So it's a three-way thing. And that works wonderfully. Yeah. Because I do hold that reverence, because it is something really special.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But there are a lot of people that don't do that. And, I want to know if I'm going to get a new house and I'm going to stay with this bloke or aren't I? Yeah. Well, that's your choice.
Exactly.
you make up your own mind.
Exactly.
Because nobody should be telling you what you do.
No.
Your future is the choices that you make, not somebody predicting you'll get a red car.
Yep.
But then you might have thought about a red car and it's in your auric field.
Yep.
So psychic readers will read from your auric field.
Oh, right.
And say,
There's a red
looking
car.
at a red car, aren't you? Get the red car because it's there. And they go, oh, you're so clever.
Okay, but they're just reading you in a different way.
I'm not putting anybody down.
No.
I'm not being judgmental about other people.
No.
But there are a lot of people that charge a lot of money in the wrong context.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I would never want to know what my future holds.
no, why would you?
But I do have questions about my past
Yes.
that I need help with.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to come and see you for that.
Yeah.
I think it's time for that.
Often people will turn up with a list as well.
No.
And they say, oh, I've got to put that in your bag because by the time I've finished, those questions may be answered. And quite often they are. And I say, have you got any questions now? Oh, no, I think you've answered everything. Because the spirit world know. And you put something in writing, you're making it a reality.
Manifesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about manifest? That's a good word. That's a very good word. What about items? You don't need an item from anybody.
When we are learning, we learn to psychometrize an item.
Yep.
So we might have a ring or a watch
Yep.
or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's an exercise to learn for. It's a tool.
You don't have to have that.
No.
Doesn't make
Some
much
people
difference.
say, oh, I brought a picture with me. No, I don't want to look at it.
Okay.
Because I don't want anything to influence my mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than the reality of those who wish to communicate from the spirit world.
Okay.
Yes.
Definitely, yeah.
So
Okay.
you mentioned the table earlier.
Oh, that's right. Yes, because there's another presenter here called Cheryl. She actually does the show after me, so you might see her as you're going
really?
out. Oh no, she comes at 3:00. She does the show here at 3:00, and her and her husband, I believe, have seen you.
Yes.
And Wayne made you a, what did you call it?
It's a communication
Table. Explain what that is.
Okay, so there's a difference. Everybody's heard of the Ouija board, and you mustn't touch that because it's evil and nasty. This is along those lines because it has the alphabet on it. It has yes, no, love. But it is a form of communication that we use with the spirit world. So sometimes I will have a family that will come along and, the mum and the daughter believe in it, but the husband doesn't. So it's not going through my mind because no matter what I get through my mind, it might be filtered a little bit.
Yeah.
It might be tainted a little bit. So through the there I go again. Communication table, we're able to just work with the energy through the fingertips on the glass. And I've sat many a time when that glass will just take off and whiz around the table and spell out amazing things.
Wow, it's fascinating.
One of the members of my group, mentioning no names, came along with her family, and her husband didn't really believe. And he was given something that knocked his socks
Really?
off. Yes.
Wow.
You couldn't
I
argue
find it
with
absolutely fascinating. Fascinating.
It's so amazing. It's
Yeah.
it's kind of like a fairy tale almost.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is, because it is so far beyond the normal.
Yeah, that's right.
It's so far out there, and yet it is just absolutely amazing.
I think this is something that I need to...
No, but another story. I worked with a lovely man, a father of a friend of my daughter's, who had a brain tumour. So I worked very closely with the family while he was in hospice, and they asked me to do his funeral. And it was a lovely private little funeral with a burial, and I hadn't done a burial
Okay.
before. So the family are all there. We were at the gravesite, and I've said to the children, I'll help you to read your poems and things. And the hearse turned up, so I walked up to meet the hearse, and they pulled out the coffin. And the next minute, because the sense is like shivers
Okay.
I get, and I wanted to laugh.
Oh, no.
He was there, and he said, "I'm here."
Like, ta-da!
I'm here, and I went, "Oh, okay." So I've got this big grin
Wow.
on my face, going, "Oh, I can't
Grin at a funeral.
Do this, but don't make me laugh."
Wow.
And that was an amazing experience.
That's
So,
amazing.
Yeah, but it was just the feeling and the sense of him, his energy being there.
Wow.
And I just heard the words, "I'm here."
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely fascinating. Let's talk about funerals. Now, my opinion is that our funerals are very underrated and very sad.
Yes.
And I think we should celebrate
Yes.
the life, not the death.
Yes.
I also feel that we should all plan our own funerals way before we ever get anywhere near that, because why not? It is our time, it's our celebration.
Yes.
I think we should plan our music, we should plan what we want, because who we want to have there,
Yep.
because like weddings and funerals, there's
That's
people there that you really don't want. I think we should definitely. There are some cultures that do celebrate the life of the person, not the death, obviously. But I think it's very morbid, and it shouldn't be morbid.
I went to because I'm not judgmental, but critique funerals, and I went to my cousin's husband's funeral, and it was the worst funeral I've ever been to. It was just in a tiny room, no bigger than this, with 30 people crammed in. The family was sitting right on top of the coffin.
Yeah.
He was stuck in the corner and spoke about, another funeral he was at. Well, you don't do that.
Oh,
Anyway, we were driving home, my husband and I went, right, that's it. I said, I don't want a funeral.
no.
There is a company that will just come
Correct.
and take you away.
Yep.
Do all the bizzo.
Yep.
Give you back a little pot.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
there you are.
That's exactly what I
So
want.
we have both decided that we're going to have that, and we're going to have a celebration of life. With all our friends there, and we're
Yep.
going to have that at Golden Ponds.
Yep. I love that place, by the way.
So do I. I'm only 3 minutes from
Yeah,
there.
I'm literally 5. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're going to invite all our friends and play all our spiritual music and
Yep.
get all our friends to talk
Yep.
about stories they've
Yep.
experiences
I
they've
agree.
shared with us. And wow, what a great day.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah.
We just do it the wrong way. We really do.
We do.
I went to. I'm a motorbike rider, and sometimes we are asked to assist by doing a parade
yes.
behind
Yes.
behind the hearse.
Yep.
So I've done a few of those, and one I went to was through. There was a Maori funeral. Wow, that was fantastic.
Yeah,
The
they are
singing,
amazing,
the
aren't they?
celebration,
Yeah.
the family. It
Yes.
felt beautiful. It's the best one I've ever been to.
Yeah.
The best
they
one.
know how to do it.
Absolutely,
properly, don't they?
yeah.
That's the way we should do it.
Definitely, we definitely do it wrong. We unfortunately we dwell on the death rather than on the
Yes,
life of the person.
That's right.
I don't like remembering death days either. I try to not, although there are a couple that I can't not. But yeah, I think we definitely need to change that area. Everything's black, everything's
Yes,
dark, everything's
yes, that's right.
heavy wood and somber, and it's just I don't want that. I don't want that.
I must admit, though, Australia are far better than, say, England.
Really?
Because
Okay.
England still live in the dark ages.
Okay. But it is dark and dreary there anyways. It's all
dark
very
and dreary
depressing.
Anyway, but my stepfather passed away in 2012. And they had the car come and pick us up. And I don't know if you've ever seen it. Like the man walks out the front with this big stick
Yeah.
along the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why do you
It's
do
very
that?
sombre,
For
yeah.
goodness sake, we don't need all that.
No.
It was very, and in England they still wear all the black.
Black.
Why do you
Black
do
tails
that?
and everything, top hats and,
I've
yeah.
never worn black to a funeral
No.
because I think it's about the colour of somebody's life.
Yeah.
And
I
always
totally
try
agree
and
with you.
encourage families to choose a colour, to
Yep.
choose something that reminds you of that person.
Yeah. There was a funeral recently of someone that I know of, and they particularly said on their funeral notice that you had to wear bright colours.
Yes.
which I thought was fantastic. Funeral of my cousin, she wanted yellow roses. We all had to do yellow petals. So I love that. I love the fact that there was colour, coming into it. Because, it's just... I've been to an army funeral, and it was very pomp and ceremony. The last post on the trumpets, and that was the hardest one I've ever been to. They're all very different. I'm absolutely fascinated. I wish I'd have realised this 30 or 40 years ago. I would have loved to have been a funeral director or what's the people behind the scenes? They do the
mortician.
Mortician, the mortician. I think that's fascinating. Yeah. The way that they change them they look amazing. They look better than they were when they were alive. Yeah. Recently, not long ago, I went to my father-in-law's, and he was in his 90s, and as he passed, he had an open mouth and quite grotesque looking, unfortunately, and I saw that. But when I saw him at the funeral, he looked wonderful.
I know.
He looked wonderful.
My mother-in-law passed at Christmas, and it was about 3 weeks over Christmas and New Year.
Yeah.
And I said, don't know that your sisters will want to see you, Mum.
Yeah.
But when we went there, wow.
I know, I was so surprised. Yeah, same. He was 96, but so it was quite a difficult thing to see. But when I saw him at the funeral, I thought, it was bloody amazing. What a great job they do. Really great job. But I think I could do that. That doesn't worry me. That dead people wouldn't worry me.
Makeup artists for the dead.
Yeah, but they are, aren't they? I think, crikey.
It's amazing what they do.
But what they do, not only that, like as I said, his mouth was open, but they closed his mouth. His lips would look fantastic. Yes. He looked amazing. I think it's definitely a craft that we don't hear much about. Yes. But I would be fascinated to do something like that. It's quite a length. I think it's about a 3-year course or something. It's quite lengthy.
Oh, I don't know.
But I don't know. I mean, everyone dies, and there must be plenty of work out there.
Well, that's it. It's something that's never, as soon as you're born, it's guaranteed.
It's always guaranteed. It's the only thing in life that you can guarantee. The only thing in life you can guarantee that you're going to die.
What I say all the time.
Yeah. Absolutely the only thing. We could speak for hours about this. It's now 2:30. Do you have any other questions, Annie?
I think so.
I think you definitely need to pursue something.
So well,
I think you do, because you've got it all there. You've got the beginnings of it. So.
Do you walk around the street though and see people's colour?
It's more of you have to see how they act kind of thing.
Do you feel my black feeling today? Because I'm really bad today.
I haven't been able to talk to you.
No, we haven't. She's been busy doing something else.
But yeah, it's more of like you need to understand how someone talks, how they walk, how they act, their attitude, and then you're able to base that. You
know what? That is, to have that at 17, to have that at 17, that would be such a benefit for your life. Yeah. Because if you're going for a job interview and you're not sure what the company's like, but the boss is an absolute prick of a man, because you feel that, you can say, oh, no, I don't want that job. Or there's so many ways of using that.
And it's also like during high school as well.
Yeah.
I can just tell when someone has bad intentions.
Okay.
Or when someone's just, like a mean person.
Okay.
Like that kind of thing. I can kind of like stay away from that.
And I wish I'd have had that when I was younger, even in my 50s.
Monique would really like this as well.
Yeah, well, she liked that. We've got another work experience girl that comes in usually, and she's 16.
She's very open to it.
She's very open as well, yeah.
Well,
so
we need to get as many young people as we can open to it and interested in it.
Yeah. You got to keep it going.
Yeah. It is something that will help you. It's already helping you in your life by being able to discern.
I wish I'd have known, because there's people in my life, even into my 50s now, that have been really mean to me. I've been bullied a lot in my life, and if I'd have had that sixth sense that you've got now, I would have not gone through that hell.
Yeah, you'll be able to take a step back.
Yeah. You're really lucky. You're very lucky. I think you should definitely get some more training on that.
Born with a gift.
Yeah.
And you've realised your gift early.
That's
I
really
didn't
great.
Get mine until 23 years ago, and I kept saying, "Why didn't I get this
early?"
I
know.
want it.
Yeah.
I love it. But it wasn't to be. It was brought into my life when they thought that
it was when you needed it.
I could handle it and be of help, be of service to other people. Because as I came into it, within a year I started losing people that were dear to me.
Yeah, yeah.
And there was 5 in a row with about 6 months difference in between.
Yeah.
And close family members that I was able to, because I'd had the beginning of the knowledge, see so much.
Can I ask what your background is, though, before this?
Transport.
Oh, really? Nothing like it then?
In 1984, I did a diploma in therapeutic massage and anatomy.
Yeah.
And went and saw a physio, got a job.
Yeah.
Over the weekend, I thought, I can't do this as a
Wow.
job. Can't do this as a job. So I'd had office training
Yeah.
before that. I was a vet nurse in England before I came here. So I just phoned up and said, sorry, I can't do this as a day job because it needs to be special for me.
Okay, yeah.
Then I got a part-time job in the office in a courier company and went from 3 mornings a week doing the books to managing director for 17 years.
So administration, same as me.
Couriers and logistics
Wow.
with courier trucks.
Gosh. But what part of England are you from?
Kent.
I'm from Berkshire.
Lovely. They're both lovely places.
They are both lovely places. We're going to have to stop there, I think.
Okay.
Because honestly, and you were going to record it and we never got a chance to do that.
I've done it.
Oh, you have? Oh, orderly, you mean? Not?
Audio.
I thought you were going to do orderly. I thought you were going to do video. I thought you were going to do video. Thank you so much for coming. It's been we've been planning this for quite some time, so I'm so glad you've come in. I'm going to talk to you once we've gone off air because I want to book an appointment with you. You can come in anytime you like. If you want to ever pop in and have a chat about something else, I always love to have this sort of stuff because my show is about mental health awareness and wellness. So to me, this is something important for the mental health.
It is because we deal with mental health.
Correct. And this is another way. Like, as I said, there's medications and all that sort of stuff, but this is just another option that we could take that it may be the right thing for you to do. And I'm going to find that out.
Yes.
I'm going to find that out. So thank you so much, Dane, for coming in. How do we get hold of you if we need to contact you? Let the people know.
Okay. My phone number is 0419 902 194. And if you can't get me, I'm obviously with a client. So leave a message and I'll get back to you.
You've got a Facebook page?
I've got a Facebook page. I've got a website that I've just completed because my other one got hacked.
Oh, no.
So it's just it's got to be tweaked a little bit yet, but that's Jane Living Spirit.
Okay. And what's your Facebook page?
My Facebook page is Jane Roberts,
Jane
Spiritualist
Roberts.
Medium.
Okay, yeah.
And you can just look me up on there or ask me any questions because
Excellent.
A lot of the time people have a misconception.
Absolutely. And that's why I needed you in today.
As mediums. And so it's lovely to come and talk to you and open people to it.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
definitely.
I'd love to come back and do that again.
Definitely.
There's
I've
so
posted
much.
your information on my page. I've posted it on the IPL page. Once this video is released, I'll send you a copy of it. It may take a little while because we're all volunteers and here it just takes a bit of time. It needs to be edited and released. So as soon as that's released, I'll get that onto IPL. I'll give you a copy of it so you can do whatever you wish with it. Thank you again. It's been enlightening. It's definitely a path that I'm going to go down and watch this space. So I'm an 80s freak, so I like to play a little bit of 80s. So I've got one
That's lovely.
one coming up here now.
Interesting to see what you're going to play because music has a great part.
That's why I call my show Good Vibrations because music to me is my therapy.
Yes.
And I always have a saying, my saying is I have a therapist and their name is music.
Yes.
So here we go.